edition of the City Review. I'm Sharon.
And I'm Carlton. We begin with the LGBT rights movement leadership salaries.
Nonprofit groups, most of the money comes from direct support of members and other donors.
Craig Schneiderman, the CEO of Food and Friends, had a salary of $382,200. Food and Friends has an annual budget of $7.9 million. Schneiderman's salary represents 4.9% of Food and Friends' revenue.
Human Rights Campaign's Joe Solanese has a salary of $338,400 on revenues of $41.4 million. On average, the salaries for the LGBT movement leaders is comparable with that of other American nonprofit CEOs.
Under Mayor Adrian M. Finte's proposed 2010 budget, the April 16th holiday, which commemorates the day President Abraham Lincoln freed the district's 3,000 slaves in 1862, would be discontinued next year. This would save the city $1.3 million.
District workers would not receive pay raises, while district residents would receive a $51 fee to help maintain the street lights.
The budget does include over $5 million in local grant funds for HIV and AIDS programs.
Needle exchanges, impact screening, prevention, and treatment programs, including the Effie Berry Initiative, will be funded if the City Council approves the budget. The D.C. House Voting Rights Act has stalled because of efforts to add an amendment that would void most of the district's gun registration regulations.
D.C. Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton, who is against the amendment, has been working to get support from both Democrats and Republicans. Fenty is in favor of the amendment, believing that the gun registration laws could be changed over time. On March 25th, the State of Washington House Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness Committee approved SB 5982. The bill modifies the definition of sexual orientation and prosecution proposals.
The Washington Senate has already passed this bill. Now the Washington House will consider doing the same thing. Gay marriage activism is thriving in the Northeast. Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont are moving closer to approving same-sex marriage bills.
The bills are progressing well in the individual state legislative bodies. The governors are vowing to veto the measures.
Some of the proponents of gay marriage are working to get enough votes for veto overrides. In Delaware, there were 2 victories for gay rights. The Delaware Senate defeated the constitutional ban on gay marriage. The Senate House approved a bill prohibiting discrimination based upon sexual orientation.
On Saturday, March 28th, many people across the Washington metropolitan area and around the world observed Earth Day by dimming the light.
The Key Bridge in Georgetown was the backdrop for a Hollywood production last week. Hundreds of people took time out of their busy schedule to watch the shoot.
People dressed as FBI agents, DC firemen, and DC police could be seen. There were kayaks, boats, and an explosion.
DC Black Pride will occur over Memorial Day weekend. The opening reception will be on May 22nd.
There will be an interfaith service, a Mr. and Miss Black Pride pageant, speed dating, and the Unity Expo concert. The schedule is being finalized.
This is the 18th Black Pride. The first occurred on May 25th, 1991. It is a week-long festival. DC Black Pride was the catalyst for the Black Pride movement. Black Pride celebrations occur all over the world.
800 people attended the first DC Black Pride. Now over 100,000 attend the various events.
The theme of Washington's Capitol Pride is Generations of Pride. Celebrate and remember Stonewall at 40. Capitol Pride starts on June 5th and ends with a street festival on Pennsylvania Avenue on June 14th.
March 29, 1973, the last United States troops left South Vietnam, ending America's direct military involvement in the Vietnam War.
Kush will hold an evening of conversations with siblings and parents of South Asian lesbians and bisexual women in recognition of Women's History Month. This event will occur on Saturday, April 11th, 2009, from 6 to 9 p.m. at the D.C. Jewish Community Center.
The D.C. Center and the Youth Pride Alliance will have a fundraiser on Sunday, April 12th, from 5 to 9 p.m. at B-Bar. Tickets to see Kathy Griffin will be raffled. Colonel Sanders wants to clog city potholes as well as city resident arteries.
KFC is offering to patch pockmarked thoroughfares for free if it can print its logo on the fill. So far, Chicago and Louisville, Kentucky have said no thanks.
The Greasy Chicken chain is pitching the campaign as an effort at good corporate citizenship.
University of Virginia students were arrested after grabbing a random passerby, tossing him in the trunk of a car, and then releasing him 12 miles away.
Well, that wasn't very nice, was it?
That's what higher education gets you.
The victim was not amused and pressed charges, and the pranksters received 90 days in prison. The annual Cherry Blossom Festival began in Washington, D.C. on March 28th and ends on April 12th. Parade and Street Festival are scheduled for April 4th.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of the City Review. I'm Sharon.
And I'm Carlton.
Goodbye.